Here we are at the Baldwinsville Veterans Memorial Park. We're going to take a gander. We're going to look around. Here we're going to start off with the American flag because it's something that stands for proud and something of pride. This is in memory of our veterans. This is the original, I do believe, dedication to our veterans. In memory of our veterans, lest we forget. Put up 49 years ago, 1975. Right here, we're going to come over here and we're going to look at the first epitaph that they have here that marks the Veterans Memorial Park. Right here, it was dedicated May 30th, 1988 in Baldwinsville, New York. And right next to that epitaph, we have another epitaph here that states it's been restored. Restored and rededicated by the Baldwinsville Memorial Committee. October 11th, 1987. Executive Committee, Frederick Hudson, Sr. President, Barbara J. Calkins, Vice President, Charles Collett, Treasurer, Norma K. Hook, Secretary and Coordinator, William Hare, William A. Hook, Nancy Petty, Thomas Howard, Harley Lovelace, John Calkins, Lyndon Hughes, William Haney. General Committee is Fred Bauer, Alfred Petty, and Robert Garnett. So one of the things that actually caught my eye about this right here, I thought it was somebody's personal headstone because I've never been to this section of the cemetery in which I'm standing right now, and it was awesome to find out that this whole entire statue right here, this is a mail order memorial, which in the late 1800s, I believe, they started manufacturing them, and companies like Sears would put them in catalogs. And like around the early 1900s, I do believe I said in another video, it was 1902 that Sears started doing it, and they went to 1993. And as soon as those catalogs stopped, they stopped making these type of mail order headstones. If you go up and knock on one of these, they sound like they're made out of metal because they were a cheaper way for people to get their loved ones taken care of, and financially it made the family a little happier knowing that something could be on top of a grave and not ever go anywhere. But it was originally put up, and I think they were about $40, between $40 and $70, and they took off like crazy. And then, like I said, right up until 1993, we were still putting them in our cemetery. So there are some modern ones out there that if you see one that says in the 90s, you wouldn't be surprised. Here is a memoriam piece. It is dedicated to the men and women of this community who faithfully served in the armed forces. I'm not going to read the names, but I will go down very slowly. Some of these people are very local people. They still live in this area possibly. This is the town of Lysander and Van Buren. There are some Van Burens buried here in the cemetery. And also, we have Donald Cole Sr. buried. I do believe he's also buried in this cemetery. He is the guy who started Cole Muffler, which most people today know as Cole Mavis Muffler. And I'm not going to get into his story right now, but he started out in Fulton. And I will say that. Over here, we are going to check these above ground mausoleums. These are only cremation urns that are in here. I did a whole section at Pine Plains in Clay, New York. Here's a name right here. This name, Ellen L. Bridlebow. I went to a school in Phoenix, New York, and that was John L. or John C. Bridlebow High School, and I believe this guy may be related to him. I don't remember the middle initial of my school. It's been 30 years, and I don't really hang out in that town. But I did do a filming location there. In fact, it was my very first filming location I did. It was called Happy Birthday to Me, which starred Melissa Sue Anderson. And I'm actually thinking about redoing that because some of the information on Google about that movie has changed and I got to update it. So right here, it looks like we have something missing here. I wonder if that's taken out and they decided to take the urn out, or maybe they're putting an urn in there. And this is it as a whole. This is the Veterans Memorial Park as a whole.